Hello, welcome to Premier Scene. I'm Claire Bueno. As tonight we shall go to the ball as we attend the UK premiere of Disney's Cinderella.
That will see you through all the trials that life can offer. Have courage and be kind.
She'll merely be your stepmother, and you'll have two lovely sisters to keep you company. So I'll know, as far away as I may be, that you'll be safe.
Wouldn't you prefer to eat when all the work is done, Ella?
Yes, stepmother. Oh, you needn't call me that. Madam will do.
We get to see your backstory. Does that, do you think, make your character more grounded and more relatable?
I think so. You see where this goodness comes from, this courage. You know, it's not this airy-fairy thing just because she's a princess, she's kind. You see this grief and this loss that's informed her and made her a remarkably powerful young woman.
Congratulations on the film.
Thanks very much.
It's fabulous, isn't it?
Thanks.
It's a fairy tale, but for me watching it felt very grounded. And I wondered whether you that read the script, you found that as well, because these people are relatable. You're Prince Charming, but you're relatable.
Well, that's why I kind of got involved with it, because actually these were real people, and if you look back to the animation, we know the story, but we don't get to know a lot about these characters. In this version, we get to see why the stepmother is the way she is, how brave Cinderella is. You know, the characters of the prince that define him. I had to kind of make a character that's worthy of Cinderella's affection, rather than that old-fashioned view that, you know, a girl needs a guy with a big house and lots of money to save the day. That doesn't apply anymore, and we have to kind of move into 2015 on that front.
That's actually there's a very nice relationship as well with you with Sir Derek Jacobi, who plays the king, isn't it? Yeah.
I can't wait to see him. I know I've not seen him yet. I'm dying to see him.
Yeah, he is here. It's cool as well for the 21st century. There's something very contemporary about the story as well. Was that attractive to you?
Yeah, it was completely, because we get into the heads of these characters, and there's something about kind of knowing what the story's going to be, that everyone can go on a journey, and actually we don't know what the story's going to be. We know the facts, we don't know the people, and that makes it a lot more interesting and entertaining.
Cinderwench. Dirty Ella. Cinderella.
Whoa! Are you all right, miss? What did he call you?
Never mind what they call me.
I'm sorry.
It's not your doing.
Nor yours either, I'll bet. I hope to see you again, miss.
And I you.
Your portrayal of the fairy godmother is so fun and eccentric. I wondered whether you based her on anybody when you were preparing.
I wonder who. I wonder why Ken asked me. He did say benign befuddlement, and once I looked it up in the dictionary, I thought, oh, he's asking me to play myself. There is definitely a bit of me, and I'm so completely vague and absent-minded that I thought, well, maybe if she's 1,000 years old, because that's how it was written, it's like, oh, I thought, well, she's obviously going to have problems with that memory. And also, I thought, well, she's under a lot of pressure because she's got to fix it, and she's not got much time. So wear that pressure. And then I suddenly thought, you know, a lot of these things why did she choose for a pumpkin? She's got to be improvising. So we had to sort of reinvent what we already know, but we just thought, like, make it fresh and work out accidents. It ended up being all an accident. I thought there's no way you'd set out and make a pair of shoes out of glass. The glass has to be an accident, you know. And the midnight thing has always bugged me. Why does it stop at midnight? Why does the magic stop? That's because she has a sell-by date with the magic. She's just not very good at it. But she just tries to cover up for it. So that was kind of...
With the costumes that you're wearing, there's such an eccentricity about them. It really helped you then kind of be able to give you an extra performance.
Oh, completely. I mean, I almost feel like Sophie and I could have just walked through and not even done anything. The costumes kind of do it all for us.
It was my mother's old dress.
It would be an insult to take you to the palace dressed in these old rags. You shall not go to the ball.
Excuse me. Why are you crying? Who are you? That's better. My fairy godmother.
No, where are these mice?
They're made of glass.
And you find they're really comfortable. Now off you go, for you shall go to the ball.
Such an honour to meet you.
And you, Claire.
My goodness, so we've watched the films that you've composed for many years.
My pleasure, yeah, and I'm glad to be still doing it, Claire.
Well, actually, funnily enough, my first introduction to really knowing your work was at the Royal Albert Hall when Kenneth Branagh put on your charity event.
Oh, fantastic.
And I came along to that.
Oh, did you come, Claire?
It was amazing.
That was very kind of you. Oh, well, we made a big splash for Leukemia Research, and all these fantastic actors came along to help out. Judi Dench, Jacoby, and Robbie Coltrane. I've known these people, for years and years. And yes, it was wonderful for Leukemia Research, because I had leukemia a long time ago, and thank God there's life after leukemia for everyone out there. So I was glad you came to that night. It was wonderful. Yeah, it was an up evening. It was about, moving on and, getting through it, and, everybody helping you. So it was a wonderful evening.
It was a wonderful evening.
As this is.
Cinderella as soon as Sir Ken is helming the project, you must have been very excited to get on board too.
Yes. I've worked with Ken now for over 25 years. I think I'm not sure if it's my 10th or 11th picture with him, but it's always a great honour to work with him, and also to work with Disney. This is my third picture with Disney, and they've been very kind to me. It's great to be part of their family, and it's easy to say it's an incredible film that Ken has directed. It's enchanting, it's magical, it's a timeless picture. It's got fantastic performances. It's funny, engaging, and heartwarming, and moving. So it's got all these great things that you can easily say this in there. And the performances are outstanding. It looks gorgeous, and it was a great opportunity for a composer. I've been able to write polkas and waltzes and action music, and you name it.
I mean, are you presented with the script in the beginning, and then you get to read it, or how does the process start? How does the collaboration work?
Well, I was sent the script over 2 years ago by Kenneth, and then we discussed, after reading it, obviously the ballroom, because that's the central sort of peak to the story. Everything leads up to and after the ballroom. So the first thing I wrote was the waltz, La Valse de l'Amour, which is the first time that Cinderella and the Prince dance. So that was a pivotal moment in the story, obviously. And so that was the first thing I wrote. And the second, that was inspired obviously by when I saw the early rushes of the test for Lily, which was, I thought, she's going to be dynamite, and Richard, and I saw them sort of just stand together, and that was inspiring. And Ken's detailed description of the tone of the film is always an inspiration. So I went away, I wrote it in France, got a house there, I'm very lucky to have a house there. So I left it a week or so, then I sat down at my piano there, and out it began to pour. So he loved it instantly, thank goodness. And we were off. It was sent to New York to Rob Ashford, the choreographer, and then we were off.
There's an eccentricity as well, so does that, to the characters, was that something that you felt as well, that you wanted to kind of bring in a little quirkiness to some of the music?
Well, Helena Bonham Carter's character is completely mad. She's a kind of wacky fairy godmother. So it was wonderful to pick up her sense of scattiness and eccentricity and complete kind of wackiness, and as well as catching the magic with changing of all the animals, the lizard and the pumpkin and the mice. So that was a wonderful thing to score. It's beautifully animated, and she gives a wonderfully eccentric performance. And Lily's amazement is a wonderful juxtaposition to that.
Now, with a film like this, it's obviously a fairy tale, and there's a fantasy element to it as well. So for you as the costume designer, you must have been able to let your imagination go completely wild.
I did let my imagination go completely wild. It was lovely, yeah. It's a costume designer's dream.
Because it's a real eclectic cast, isn't it? So
yeah,
So when you're matching the costumes, when you're looking at the script, you're matching the costumes to the personalities of the characters.
Well, I mean, you read the script and you have an idea of what the characters are, but then you don't really know what the characters are until you know who the actors are. I mean, I actually don't design the costumes till I know who the actors are. It's impossible. Because you can have an idea about a character, then you get the actor, and they're physically completely different to what you had in your mind. So you really have to wait until you know who's playing the part. And then it all starts to happen.
Is it a collaboration with the actor? Because presumably they come along and they also have an idea.
Absolutely, it's definitely a collaboration. I mean, the whole filmmaking process is a collaboration in an ideal world. And so, yeah, working with the actors is really good fun. And you do the most creative part of the process is in the fittings when you're trying things on for the first time. and then they have an opinion, and then they get to see a glimpse of their character, and then they might bring that out in the fitting, and that's the exciting part.
And you're working with somebody like Kenneth Branagh, who comes from a theatrical background as well, so was he very collaborative as well?
Yeah, and actually I must say it really does help working with people who come from the theatre. It is actually quite different to working with movie stars, and theatre actors, theatre directors have a different sensibility, and they kind of understand the whole costume thing.
They're all looking at you.
Believe me, they're all looking at you.
Where there is kindness, there is goodness. And where there is goodness, there is magic.
I have to see her again.
Are you looking for this?